Welcome everyone to the stream. Hello, we are beginning right now, live and in person, which is what we like to see. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. If you are new to the channel, if you are just finding out about this stream, welcome. Hello, say hello in the chat. If anyone's here listening live. I appreciate it whether you're watching this live or if you're watching it later. Thank you so much for being here. Be sure to like the channel, subscribe to the channel if you like this content and you want to see more. There's going to be more videos coming soon, clips from the stream, and I'm going to try to stream pretty much every week now because why not? That's what all the cool kids are doing, I guess. So, a couple topics from today. For today's stream, just two. It's gonna be a little short stream, shorter than last week, but we got a couple topics today. Of course, I want to talk about the Star Wars Outlaws game that is set to release, I think, pretty soon. I'm not sure the exact date when it releases. It's very soon. August 30th is when that show movie will release. So we're looking forward to that. Also want to talk about Twisters, and that's a movie that kind of fell underneath the radar after Deadpool and Wolverine, but it's quite interesting because that movie is well liked among critics and audiences. Obviously it's not the Oscar Barbieheimer type of movie, but it made some waves, and it'll probably make some money, I think. I don't know. I haven't looked at the box office budget yet, but of course, you know, there's some people who come out with just the most absurd criticism, and when we look into that, we'll see. You know, I feel like people just need to find something to complain about nowadays. Um, but hey, if you know, want to criticize the movie that way, criticize the movie that way. But we'll get into these two things. But before we get started, let me just do a quick check on everything. Make sure everything sounds okay. So just give me just one moment, guys. Let me just check, make sure things are going well. All right, we are good to go, guys. Like I said, if you are watching this later or if you're watching it live right now, hello, welcome. Say hi in the chat, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and like this video, and of course, like the stream. Why not? You know, helps out a lot. So, let's get into our first topic of the night. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Star Wars Outlaws. Now, if you think Disney is just milking the cow with Star Wars, well, they're milking it even harder with video games. Obviously, Star Wars recently has had some hits with Star Wars video games, including the Jedi Survivor series, Jedi Fallen Order. Those games are good. They just re-released Battlefront 1 and 2, which was a total disaster, but, you know, props for them giving the people what they want. But, of course, you have some stinkers they made in the past, but we won't get into those because we are talking about the newest stinker, and that is going to be Star Wars Outlaws, in my opinion. Now, the big promise for this game was it's going to be open world. It's going to be like seamless travel throughout the galaxy. And it's made by Ubisoft, which is a big bummer. Now, of course, Ubisoft has had some hits in the past, you know, with Assassin's Creed games or the Far Cry series. But eventually, they just kind of, I don't know, went down this path of just repeating gameplay and making everything expensive to buy and then adding microtransactions, and it's just not good. It seems like they're just trying to get as much out of the customer as they can in terms of their money. So Ubisoft took on this project of Star Wars Outlaws, and like I said, they promised the whole world, basically. You know, seamless gameplay, it's gonna be great action, great fighting, but we all know what comes next, right, folks? Because 2 weeks ago, they released 10 minutes of exclusive gameplay, and oh man, were a lot of people right about this game. So we're going to watch the full 10 minutes of this exclusive gameplay, and let's dissect it in the most mediocre, wow, can't say sentences now. So let's dissect this in the most mediocre way we can. So this comes to us from IGN, and before we get started, folks, I do want to point out a couple things. Boom. All right. First thing, like to dislike ratio, not looking good. All right. Now, I haven't watched this yet, so I'll make my decision whether I like this or not based off this video. So let's start it, and let's see what we can dissect here and see what we like and don't like. So this is 10 minutes of exclusive gameplay from Star Wars Outlaws. This moment. All right. So there was a comment by IGN that said We've noticed the video isn't airing at optimal quality by default. Please sure to adjust your video settings to ensure the video has the proper fidelity. Have you ever seen that before in the game? Because I haven't. So let's bump this shit up to 4K, baby. See if it looks any better.
IGN for
Alright, so 4K might not be the best for us. So let's dial it back a little bit. Let's just do 1080p here. Okay. That should be fine. Alright, here we go.
this month's IGN for
Okay. Alright. Already we are hitting some weird things here. I'm trying to go back. It looked like it cut a few times frame wise. Look at that. She stays in the air for like a frame. Already having issues here. Not looking good for Ubisoft so far. Looks like they're already dropping frames. Unless that's just me. It could be me. Alright? It could be me. But let's continue on.
This month's IGN First is Star Wars Outlaws. We'll be diving deep into Massive Entertainment's open world adventure into a galaxy far, far away throughout July, with new behind the scenes looks and features. We've already explored how Massive brought the cinematic spectacle of Star Wars into an open galaxy setting, and now we're thrilled to bring you a full mission of exclusive gameplay. Taking place on the classic desert planet of Tatooine,
I don't know if it's just me, but it looks really clunky. It looks, not finished. And to be fair, this could be an unpolished, unfinished version, but if this is supposed to be, a finished product, it still looks a little clunky. And it could, honestly, it could be me. Like they said, this video could have issues uploading or something. I don't know. But as you can see, we can see the first peek at the the display, the head display, or the user interaction face here. So yeah, this is the first look at the user face. It looks pretty minimal, pretty nice. Not too jarring on the eyes, which is nice when you're playing a game and not to have 13 million things on the screen all at once. But let's continue on.
This expert mission takes Kate on a journey involving a Jawa and a Sarlacc pit as she journeys from the sand to the stars. Enjoy.
Hey, I heard you could put a turret on my ship. I'm sorry?
She said she'll put a turret anywhere if you give her a tooth. Forgive the intrusion, but I sensed you needed an interpreter.
Oh, thanks, but I'm not giving her a tooth.
No, not your tooth. A sarlacc tooth. One from its second mouth.
Second mouth. Oh, you won't take credits?
She says if you won't pay for breakfast, you can eat sand for free. A Jawa proverb.
Sorry, my camera just blinked for a second. This Jawa's eyes don't look like very shadowy. Aren't they supposed to be I don't know. Like the eyes are supposed to be inside the hood, right? This looks like there's two balls. Is that canon? Is there two little air bubbles supposed to be there? I always thought it was covered by the shadows, but I don't know. I don't know Star Wars lore. But maybe this is the best way those developers can can get it to look as realistic as possible, or as real to the lore as possible.
No, I get it. I'll get the tooth. But that turret better be good.
You have a deal? How exciting. You know, this reminds me of my time negotiating with the Trade Federal.
Hey, ND, you know where I can get a Sarlacc tooth?
Sarlacc. And you need to find its pit. I'd start in the Dune Sea.
What is that?
Listen, I don't know what planet this is, and I get, you know, there's some planets that are super barren, but, like, come on. What are we doing here? Super just open space, nothing happening there. Uninteresting. I know, that's very nitpicky, and obviously you can't put a lot of, you know, things in an open world because it takes up too much space, but you know, I have a right to complain. But I guess this is going to be your main way of transportation, is the speeder bike, which is interesting. I guess. But yeah, let's continue on. She needs to get a Sarlacc tooth. I imagine this is a side mission. So, which is fair. They don't want to give too much away of the story, if there even is a story, which is another conspiracy, I guess. But it's nice to know they have side missions, if this is a side mission, because you know, keeps you side missions keep you in the world, keep you engaged with the world, and give you extra loot, which I imagine this game will have a abundance of that you don't pay for, hopefully, but you never know. All right. Okay, I think they're dropping frames. Like, I don't think that's me. Watch the speeder as it moves along. It's like weirdly shaky.
Stay sharp, Kay. A pristine Sarlacc tooth is worth a lot on the black market.
It's
You
very
saying I'll have competition?
strange. Is that like a artistic choice, maybe? I don't know. Could be. Could be.
Dead Sarlaccs get scavenged fast. Anyone else looking for a tooth won't be coming alone.
Okay, finally, 3 minutes in, and we're about to see some combat. What does the combat look like? Obviously, Kay here, female protagonist, is not a Jedi yet. So it's going to be a lot of gunplay, I imagine. So let's see how that looks.
Conchida Troy. Gigiduanak su imta graba fingrani titoki.
It's a dead Sarlacc. Who knows what's crawling around down there?
Ah, tagging enemies, just like another Ubisoft game where you use binoculars to tag enemies.
We're going in next.
Bold move, going dead into a Sarlacc pit. Are those things supposed to be like poisonous and filled with acid?
Okay, that's one mouth down. You good, buddy? Ugh, it's kind of...
Okay. Again, this is probably just a test beta and probably not polished at all, but like, I feel like we should get better graphics. Especially coming from Ubisoft. Especially coming from a triple, quadruple A studio. Right? I mean, look at this one over here. Look how sharp those edges are. Like, what are we doing? Are we not giving enough people enough time to complete these games? Like, what is going on? I always like to revert back to the classic Arkham games, Arkham Knight to be specific. Look at those graphics. That game was made probably almost 10 years ago, and those graphics are insanely good. And they should get better, but like it seems like we're downgrading, and I don't know if it's a issue with like a budget or if it's an issue with the teams, you know, are they cutting down people? Are they cutting down teams and just like letting one person do 1 billion hours of work? Like, what is going on here? But then again, it's probably Ubisoft wanting this game to come out as soon as possible because they need to make that money, baby. It's all about the money, and we'll get to that later.
Leathery.
Kay, the Jawas have arrived at the ship.
Did they bring a turret?
They did. They have yet to confirm that it works.
Okay, well, you keep an eye on that. I've got to find a way down to the bottom of this
Another
pit.
side note, I love when they're showing off gameplay and they just make it look cinematic as you have to go through like a necessary dialogue point because the droid was talking to her there, and you notice the character just kind of looks around and moves away. It doesn't do what any normal gamer does and just violently shakes everywhere to make it look like they're dancing or just to appease their boredom in this necessary bit of dialogue. But always love seeing that. Always love seeing the whoever's playing this game, when they're showing off the graphics and the location, they do a slow cinematic pan, when in reality everyone just kind of fucking spams the controller or some shit. Okay, I don't know if that was slow on my part or slow on their part. Again, it still looks like it needs polish, and I hope when it comes out it is polished, or I hope when it comes out I find out it's more polished. But it's Ubisoft. They really don't have that big of a reputation to have polished games when they first release, so we'll see.
Ugh, so many dead things in this dead thing.
One thing I know that's not going to be polished or updated is the dialogue. So you have that to look forward to, which probably isn't going to be great. But who knows? Who knows? You know, this could be the one time there's like a little bit of cringy dialogue. But like I said, this is probably a side mission or some type of side quest, so just keep the back of your head that just keep in the back of your head that this isn't really the final game. This isn't really part of the main story, hopefully, if you are looking to pre-order this. That's very interesting. There's going to be different blaster modes on your pistol, I guess, and they're gonna interact with the world differently. So what you're saying is there's gonna be hidden doors we have to find, some secrets around the world that we would have to find in order to get the treasure. That's probably a cool outfit or a cool jacket or something. I don't know. I just love when they have things that interact with the world and they uncover secret caves or something like that. And I bet you won't even get that like blaster until like in the middle of the game, and of course they're gonna have stuff in the beginning of the game where it's like you can't get there yet, you have to go get the blaster because that increases gameplay time, and it's gonna make you do all this shit, make you play the game even longer. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great classic. I mean, that's pretty much classic Ubisoft right there.
Well, that worked.
Just like the dismount of them sliding off it looked kind of funky. Yeah. But is that a big deal? Probably not.
What do you see?
Alright, so right there, I guess that's going to be what your companion does, because in Star Wars, it seems like every goddamn person has a droid, a little creature, or a little sidekick that can do something. In the Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order series, it was BD-8, and you could, like, unlock little chests or unlock doors. It looks like here, your little guy, your little pal, your little they-them can, use sound to find things. This is great.
Phew, the tooth, finally. Sorry, droid. I need this more than you. ND?
Finally. What's your status?
Well, I found a tooth. Now I just need to get out of this pit. Why? You worried about me?
About you? No. Hurry, please.
Oh, what? We're not going to see any more parkour up the walls? It's bullshit.
Oh.
But then again, it's probably not finished yet.
Oh, damn ferret.
Okay. Alright, there's that scene again. It looks...
Lucky number 7.
Okay, that scene did not look as well polished as I hoped it would. And then again, I'm probably dropping frames too. But wow, if that's the best they can show, then it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Like even the graphics and the lighting and the shading are all just like off. Like look at this grenade that comes in, right? Like it does not look good. Look, there's like no shadows. It goes through a rock. Like I know these are little things, but it's fucking 2024 in video games. We shouldn't look past these stuff. So we should be critical of every single thing because we want better games. Okay, that's my thought. All right, let's be super critical because nothing is perfect, and the only way we criticize it is because, you know, we want something better. And, you know, maybe this can make up for it once we see the gameplay, because honestly, if the gameplay is fun and entertaining, then you really look past all this stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It does not look good. There's like terrible lighting going on, and then when she gets blown away, I think they skip a few frames, which isn't good. Yeah, like that looks terrible. It looks completely awful. And of course, it's the most replayed thing on the video because, like Jesus Christ. Let's go this frame by frame, all right? Boom. There's a cool grenade, right? See, she drops. Another drop. Another drop. Look at that. It's like she's moving at like 15 frames per second and the explosion's moving at like 30 or something. Okay. Good job, Ubisoft. You're really hitting it out of the park with this one. God, I imagine it can't get any worse. Alright, let's see some gun gameplay here.
Hey, come back here. That's my tooth.
Nope. Chasing. No, thank God they skipped it. Let's see some gameplay, some fighting mechanics here.
Wait.
Oh God, there's stealth mode. All right, so you got the binoculars that you can like tag targets with, which is, you know, something we've seen in Far Cry, and now we're getting stealth mode, which obviously I imagine is gonna be like Assassin's Creed. Next thing you know, we're gonna see a pirate ship, and it's gonna be like Skull and Bones, Yarg.
All right, Nix, go get him.
Okay, so you can use your body to attack. Nice. Finishing moves.
Someone nearby?
Getting jumpy.
She just straight up murdered that man. Alright, let's see here.
All this for a tooth.
Nice slide. Did these people not just hear the big ass explosion that happened or the gunfire? They're like, wait, what was that? I always love it when the NPCs are just like dumb idiots, you know, who can't hear and see shit. Also, too, I love that the Sylvanian iron, and that implies that there's going to be like a crafting or some sort of like store, and I'm sure they aren't going to charge money to you to get extra of that. I'm sure that's not going to be a thing, but it's Ubisoft. They love their money.
They're headed for us. Oh, got the tooth. I should get out of here.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. 2 different guns.
You think you can take me? Come on.
Going loud.
Sick. Away. Let's say break, dodge right, dodge left, look back, boost, dismount, jump, accelerate. Good to know we know the controls. Speed.
Kay, the Jawas are getting impatient.
How can you tell?
Disassemble me.
Okay. I'm headed back to their boss now, all right? Just, try to stay in one piece. Here. Straight from the, second mouth. That's good, right?
Oh, yes. I love watching the wheels of commerce in motion.
Ah, Criff. It's hot, Nix.
What the fuck did she just say? Oh. There's going to be abilities, guys. Fantastic. There's probably going to be a whole ass tree of them. Let's see. New repairs. The Trailblazers turbo laser turret giving the ship a powerful weapon. Is that what their ship's called? The Trailblazer? It's pretty funny. Pretty ironic. Whoa. You now can shoot in space. Oh, look at that. So I'm guessing this is a bunch of side missions you do for the Jawas, and you can upgrade stuff. Maybe? I don't know. It's just my guess.
Turret is active, K.
We'll have more exclusive looks at Star Wars Outlaws for
Okay.
you throughout.
So, did all that for a little turn. That's what I love about open worlds, baby. Just, you know, it looks very, very generic. Yeah, I don't know. It looks fine. It looks like it could be fun for like the first 30 minutes, but depending on how each level plays out, I imagine it gets kind of repetitive. And I'm glad that they showcase that you can have different weapons. They showcase that you can pick up weapons, you know, like kind of on the fly, but it looks like only certain weapons you can pick up. So I imagine there's only a select few, you know. We got your main gun here, you'll probably keep on you forever, but you know, when you go up and pick up the rocket launcher, I imagine there's going to be a plethora of those throughout the universes, throughout the galaxies. And you know, it's going to be the same model, same design, even though you're on different planets, thousands of light years away. But hey, that's just how Star Wars games work, unfortunately. So, yeah. That was Star Wars Outlaws, folks. But we are not done talking about it just yet, because after watching that gameplay, you know what? I am undecided with the like to dislike ratio. I didn't hate it, I'll say that, but you know, it doesn't excite me, you know. It doesn't get me excited. It doesn't seem like there's really any very interesting gameplay. All kind of stuff we've seen before. Let's see what some of the comments say. How to save 80 euros in 10 minutes. Very true. Let's see. New ability unlocked. Cancel pre-order. Ubisoft's downfall needs to be studied. Like, genuinely, how does it get worse every time? That is very true. Because I feel like Ubisoft back in the day, early 2010, I feel like Ubisoft back in the day, you know, the early 2010s, you know, they were hitting home runs with like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 3, you know, all those games, you know, they were being new and inventive, and then all of a sudden they just kind of got repetitive and greedy almost. But, you know, that's not the fault. But, you know, that's kind of what every big game studio has been doing for the past couple of years, is just focus on their greed and focus on how can we make money instead of how can we produce the best product ever. Oh, this is a good one. The power of one, the power of two, the power of don't pre-order. Amen, brother. The terminal detonation is the worst thing I've seen in modern video game LMAO, and that is 100% true. When she gets blown up, it's like dropping frames, it looks awful, the lighting's terrible. This person said, perhaps we treated Gollum too harshly. I think absolutely. And Gollum didn't even come from like a big name studio. It's not like it came from Ubisoft, you know? But this is coming from Ubisoft. And, you know, this came out 2 weeks ago, and the game comes out, you know, in a month, and they have that much polishing to do. But hey, to be fair, at least there is a game, and it looks like it's working properly. Okay? But guys, obviously I'm not going to pre-order this game. And I'm probably never going to play it. But, if you want to play it, if you want to pre-order this game, well, there's some tier lists you should know about when pre-ordering this game. And I covered this in our... And I've covered this in a previous video I've done on Star Wars Outlaws before. But let's take a look at the pricing tiers. And it's classic Ubisoft, all right? Now, this is coming out next gen. Remember that, too. Now, if you get the standard edition, it is the base game and, pre-order bonuses for a whopping $69.99, which is, standard now for games, which is ridiculous. But hold the phone, folks. There's a gold edition, base game pre-order bonus, 3-day early access, and the season pass. So that means there's going to be DLC that you will have to pay for if you don't get the season pass, which is kind of ridiculous. Remember when games used to just come out and it would just be the full game? Nothing else, no updates? That was the good old days. For the gold edition, it's $109.99. But folks, there's the ultimate edition, okay? You get the base game, pre-order bonus, 3 days early access, the season pass, some cosmetics, and a digital art book, man. Digital art book. And that comes in at a whopping $129.99. For an extra $20, folks, you can get cosmetics for $20. Sign me up, am I right? But of course, what Ubisoft really wants you to do is pay for their Ubisoft Plus. It's like a monthly subscription fee where you can play all their new games and their old games, because they really know you enjoy their old games, so they're just gonna feed you that shit. But you can pay $17.99 a month, and you can play this game day one with all the things from the Ultimate Edition. Which honestly, if you were just trying this out, if you don't give a shit about anything else, I don't know, I'd say why not pay $20 just to try it for a month? And that's exactly what they want you to do, because they want you to pay for their subscription and never look at that bill ever again, make you forget about it, and you'll be paying them forever, So that is the Star Wars Outlaws. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Will you be playing this game? Will you be pre-ordering it for those awesome cosmetic packs? And, of course, will you be pre-ordering for the bonus missions that are in the game but behind a paywall? Let me know down in the comments, in the chat. Like this video and all those things, whatever YouTubers say. But yeah, seriously guys, let me know if you are going to play this game day one, or wait to see the reviews, or wait for someone else to play it, because that's probably what I'm going to do. Okay. Alright, so that was the Star Wars Outlaws segment for the night. And we have got one more thing to discuss. And it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic, folks. Again, if you are here live or just tuning in or watching this at a later time, I appreciate you. I appreciate every single one of you that watches videos, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, hate me, like me, despise me. It's all good, all right? I genuinely do not give a shit. But if you do enjoy, I highly recommend, as my camera flickers, liking and subscribing. It's free. It's the best thing you can do to help support channels like mine or any other channel you like. If you like any other channel, if you like any other videos, if you think for a second, should you like this video, like it, because it does no harm whatsoever and it helps out tremendously. All right, let's get into our next topic and let's get out of here, folks. Twisters, Glenn Powell. What a man, am I right? So, when did this movie come out? When did this movie come out? When did Twisters come out? That is very important information. Twisters. She moves her body like a cyclone. She moves on all night long. Okay, July 19th. Holy shit. All right. A couple weeks ago, there was a movie that came out on July 19th called Twisters, and it starred Glenn Powell, obviously, and a couple others. It is I believe, a direct sequel from the 1990s movie Twister. It follows a bunch of people going and chasing, tornadoes, and just being put in the smack middle of them for an adrenaline rush or something like that. I don't know. I haven't seen any of these movies, but the conversation about this new movie Twisters is going in a direction you think it would, because why not? 2024, it's crazy times, and of course, this is what people are complaining about. So before we get into the conversation, let's talk about the movie Twisters a little bit and their Rotten Tomatoes score. So as you can see here, we are on that page. It is sitting at, boom, 70% critic score and a 92% audience score. So when you see a score like this, and we saw this with like Deadpool and Wolverine, it doesn't have the best critic score, but the audience score is insane, and that just means the general public likes this movie. They find it enjoyable, they find it entertaining, and of course the critics, kind of agree with them, but, there's still some flaws with it, obviously. But overall, 70% from the critic score it means it's a fun movie. It's a good movie, and it's probably worth watching. So let's look at some of the critics and see what they say. Obviously I wasn't blown away by it. It's not particularly well written, which is, very common for movies that are rated this way. I imagine this movie is just a bunch of fun, doesn't really care about the writing, and kind of, panders to the audience a lot. Plus, Glenn Powell is slowly becoming my favorite actor ever. He is very charismatic, and, he's got the look. He's got that star look. Now, of course, a lot of critics, like Peter Rayner here from Film Week, says it's not well written, which is fair points. All fair points. It's not well written. I imagine if there's CGI, it's probably not that good. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I don't know what the flaws are of it, but I imagine, people are complaining about the writing, but not everyone is. Not everyone is complaining about the same things, and there are some people giving this movie lower ratings for one fact and one fact alone. And that is because in a movie about tornadoes and insane weather, there is no talk about climate change. Yes, folks, we're getting a little political here, but not too much. It's just funny in my opinion. People are giving this, flack for not expressing the overall danger of climate change and how it's affecting tornadoes. So I found this random post on Twitter that gives Twisters a 5 out of 10. This is from the Nut King. Okay. Kind of find it weird how hard they tried to avoid directly mentioning climate change while having the entire film basically be about climate change. I guess the movie is decent fun if you need something to do for 2 hours and if you're really into country music. Huh. So, try to avoid directly mentioning climate change? That's a bit weird, right? Huh. Not really... Fuck, I keep messing this up. But, they really find it weird that it doesn't mention climate change at all. Are they implying that maybe there should be a huge message in this movie? That it has to be some big speech at the end about how we're destroying the world and how, we need to be better or something like that. Sure, it can, but you know, I feel like that's not the point of this movie. The reason why they made this movie. They made this movie, well, first off, probably to make money because it's a direct sequel to the 90s movie, but also they just want to give the audience a good time in the movie with Jelly Roll playing in the background or some shit like that, and Glenn Powell on screen. You know, I'm sure there's other movies out there like that, but why does every single, you know, tornado movie, tornado chaser movie have to be about climate change? But you know, that's why, as Donald Trump says, there's a menu. Some people like pasta, some people like steak. You know, it's all opinionated. But I just find it funny that some people think that a movie about weather needs to, you know, include a whole speech or a spiel about climate change. But hey, that's your critique. That's fine too. But I find it hilarious. This comes to us from Ryan Moe. I'm going to say a Twitter user named Ryan said that CNN and MSNBC keep moaning about the new Twisters movie. It doesn't mention climate change at all. And the rest of the far left media springs into action in order to politicize entertainment. Nauseating. So he screen captures some articles. Twisters doesn't mention climate change. That's just the first problem. I always love it when, you know, the mainstream comes in and makes it political. Like, can't we just have a fun movie? I get it. You need something to write about, but like, come on, people. Can't we just enjoy a Glenn Powell movie for once and not, you know, make it about climate change? It's a tornado, for God's sake. It's not like it's like extreme heat or anything, or hurricanes or any other weather that happens naturally on the world. It's a fucking tornado. And of course, the other screen grab is from CNN. You won't hear about climate change in Twisters. Here's why. I actually did pull up, I don't think it's the same article, but I did pull up a CNN article, and I thought it'd be funny to go through it just to kind of see what they're talking about here. No, CNN, fuck off. Oh, it's an opinion piece. Twisters. So this is an opinion piece. The stunning silence at the heart of Twisters. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess what it is? Oh boy. It isn't a direct sequel to the 1996 quasi-classic Twister, but it does share a lot of similarities with the predecessor. Both feature cowboy scientists riding around Oklahoma trying to gather data on tornadoes, but are empty-headed action films featuring protagonists with tragic backstories and secondary romance plot. Yes, because that's what movies do. They have plots, they have secondary plots, and sometimes they have love stories. All things people enjoy in movies pretty much most of the time. But yet, despite being centered on extreme weather events, avoid mentioning climate change directly. Oh, so they probably mention it indirectly, but that's not enough for these people. They need to have a direct speech of a woman who is a scientist, of a woman of STEM, and she needs to stand up and say, hey, we need to stop these tornadoes by driving electric cars and drinking plastic straws. We need that. We need that in the movie right away. It's a must to win an Oscar now. The refusal to discuss global warming, even in passing, is surely in part attributable to the usual Hollywood avoidance, I can't fucking read, of political controversy. Yes, because if you get political, okay, if you get any sort of political in a movie, that will turn 50 of the... Listen, if you get political in any way, any shape or form in a movie, in 2024 especially, I guarantee 50% of the audiences will shut it off. And that's the problem with Hollywood now. I disagree. They don't avoid political controversy at all. They just lean heavily into one side of the political aisle. And that alone turns off so many people. And then they go after a movie about a fucking tornado chaser because it's not political enough. Like, fuck off. I hate these people so much. But discussions of climate change in more recent years are far more mainstream, and the failure of this more recent iteration to foreground it suggests another dimension to the problem of both films. Notable silence on the issue. Part of the reason we have trouble dealing with climate change. Fuck you. Honestly. Seriously. Can we not just enjoy a fun movie with Glenn Powell? I am on the Glenn Powell train. I don't care. Notable silence on the issue. Part of the reason we have trouble dealing with climate change, both on screen and off, is that climate action doesn't come with individual heroics, nor with an easy, immediate payoff. Decades after Twister, Hollywood and the culture at large still aren't sure how to create a narrative payoff that's measured in decades rather than in a 2-hour runtime. Why is it Hollywood's responsibility to write a film about climate change when they just want to make money and entertain people? Like, they're acting as if when you make a movie about a tornado, a fucking tornado, that you absolutely have to have a climate change discussion within it. No, you fucking don't. Just make a fun fucking movie. Let this take place on Mars or fucking another planet or in Star Wars. Do they have to talk about climate change then? I really do hate people. And I hate their opinions, but they're allowed to have them. Okay? You're allowed to have dumbass opinions, in my opinion. Okay, so then they go into the movie. They say the hero, who is a brilliant physicist. I can't even fucking say it. The hero, the woman, is a meteorologist who's working on a scheme to leach moisture from tornadoes, cause them to collapse in their tracks. After an experiment goes badly, she retreats to New York, but is called back to gather storm info for her new business venture. Yada, yada, yada. Basically goes into explaining the plot of the movie. What's this say? The character's silence is louder at a time when in real life many Republican leaders continue to deny climate change is a problem. The current Republican platform doesn't mention global warming at all, and GOP presidential nominee Donald J. Trump has denied the scientific consensus on climate change in 2020 survey, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're getting into the politics of it. They're saying Republicans are bad. Only Republicans like this movie because they don't mention climate change. No, everyone fucking likes this movie because it's a fun movie. It has characters that are interesting. It has a plot that's somewhat, digestible, and they're not being thrown at with political statements and obvious and annoying speeches and dialogue about climate change. Like, sorry, we can't just have a movie that's not political anymore. Sorry, we can't just have fun at the movies. Like, what? But again, hey, they have their opinion. I have mine. I think their opinion is dumb as shit. And I can't stand it anymore, folks. These people, man, it just boils the water inside me, boils the hate inside of me. And I will speak out. Mark my words. I will speak out when dumb shit's said like this on CNN or any mainstream thing, because it's all dumb. It's all dumb. The mainstream media can't just... They can't just sit there and have something not be political, I guess. And I wish we all could do that. I wish we all could sit here and just have fun, have a good time. And I wish things weren't political in Hollywood, but it's obviously they are. And people know this. And the normal person knows that, and the normal person isn't going to stand up for it, whether it's like super religious movies in Hollywood or it's super woke bullshit that is awful. Let's be real here. That's my opinion. But no one's going to stand for that. And this is why Twisters is, you know, doing so well in terms of, you know, the ratings and in people liking it, because it's just fun. It's fun at the theater. And there was fucking like 4D, you know, movie theaters and screenings of this film where people get splashed and moved around in their chairs, and they're having fun with it. It's entertainment. It's supposed to be entertainment. And it's shit like this where they add in fucking speeches about the climate world and all that shit. It's when they go that far, it gets super annoying. And it's people at CNN want that in every single movie about the weather. Hey, if it's raining, we need someone saying that's because of climate change. And it's all just bullshit. It's all dumb. It's all stupid. All I want is good films again. Sure, you can get political, but just make the story good. Make it fantastic. We don't need people, we don't need politicians and journalists in these movies, you know, giving us we don't need politicians and journalists giving us advice on how to write movies, okay? Let the writers do that. Let good writers do that. Because if you want to get political, you can. You absolutely can. But you just need good writers to do it. Not just dumb journalists on CNN telling you what to do. Oh, we need a fucking girl boss to tell us how climate change is bad in this Twisters movie. Fuck off. Like, go away. Your opinions suck. But hey, you're allowed to have them. You're allowed to have opinions, okay? But I'm allowed to have mine too. And your opinions suck. And I'll end on that. But what do you guys think? Do you like Twisters? Have you seen Twisters? Do you think there should be a girl boss explaining climate change in the movie? I think so. Now that I think about it. I'm going back on that. I think there should be. But guys, that is all I have for you today on the stream. Again, guys, if you are just joining, sorry, you missed a great stream. We talked about so much, so many things. But yeah, if you are watching this later or watching the clip, actually this probably won't be in the clips, but hey, if you're watching this later, listening to it later, I really appreciate you tuning in, and hopefully I earned a like or subscription. Either one is free, and it helps out the channel a lot. So yeah, tune in next week. We are going to talk about other things that are happening, and look out for the rest of the week for more clips from the stream, and hopefully a new video next week. Fingers crossed. We're working hard on that. We're really working hard. And by we, I mean me. It's all me, baby. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope to see you later in the week. And I hope to see you next week. Next week's going to be fun. Alright, guys. It's going to do it. Appreciate every single one of you. Like, subscribe, all that YouTube shenanigans. We'll talk to you later.